Chokwe Lumumba says being surveilled by the FBI is not something that's foreign territory to him. Lumumba speaks out weeks following the indictment with this story from WLBT. But first, hey guys, it's winding down 2024, that is. And you're going to look into 2025. We're going to be like, new year, new me with all your New Year's resolutions. May I suggest getting a head start on that now by taking advantage of the free testosterone screenings from Men's Health of Mississippi. Real simple. Text my name, Clay, to 601-327-8550 if you are suffering from, but not limited to, fatigue, decreased muscle tone, lack of energy, low libido, brain fog, sleep disturbances, and what's not mentioned here is lack of the morning wood. Guys, I shouldn't have to go into too many details. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Get in touch with them. It could possibly save your marriage and even your life. I am not being hyperbolic. Your testosterone levels are that important. If you're 35 or older, it really doesn't matter how old you are. You should probably get checked with all the crap that's in our food and stuff nowadays. We could do a whole nother video about diet and all that. I'm not going to bog you down here. But testosterone, jump in front of your New Year's resolutions. It takes a good month or so to 6 weeks for it to really get active in your system. So the sooner you start reaping the benefits and possibly changing your life and your physical being forever. Also, they offer generic Ozempic. It's called compounded semi-glutide. It's created in a compound pharmacy. I'm not going to bog you down with what all that means. You can Google it, save a ton of money, get the same results. Text weight loss to that same number, 601-327-8550. All right, in closing, text Clay for testosterone, text weight loss for the generic Ozempic to 601-327-8550. Let's get in it, man. I have not made a little news video like this in about 2 weeks. Thanksgiving slowed things down a little bit with the news cycle. And frankly, I was just getting a little burned out, but nothing like a little Lumumba news to get my blood flowing. Put it in my veins. Let's get started, shall we? There's a little story from over at WLBT. No video attached to this, so I'm going to be your video. Chokwe Antar Lumumba used his most recent episode of #AskAntar to thank supporters and reassure the residents of Jackson that he is moving forward even as he faces multiple corruption charges. Hopefully, these ain't the only charges heading his way. In October, a federal grand jury indicted Lumumba, Ward 6 Councilman Aaron Banks, and Hinds County District Attorney Jody Owens in connection with a bribery scheme to bring a convention center hotel to downtown Jackson. We've done a dozen videos or so on that. You can find them all here on this channel. The comments mark only the second time the mayor has discussed the indictment since it was unsealed on November 7th, my sister's birthday. This is a quote from the mayor. People have been keeping me lifted up, sending me daily text messages, prayers, scripture, lifting up my family, not only in Jackson, but around the country. Of course, free the land, free the people. Anyway, these are the moments that you're taught who really are your friends and who support you. And I've been grateful for that support. Well, you do have a bunch of idiots that support you. Nobody will doubt that. The fact you've been reelected, well, you've been elected once and reelected once. And frankly, I think he's probably stands a good chance of being reelected again, just because Jacksonians, a good 70% of them are absolute idiots. Continuing, Lumumba dressed in a gray sweater and a black button-up shirt. Well, why does that matter? Anyway, he reiterated statements he made outside of the Thad Cochran Federal Courthouse last month that he was going to continue the fight, the charges, and work for the residents. Let me show you a picture of what somebody fighting for the residents and fighting for the citizens look like. This is what fighting for people looks like. So Chokwe, until you've experienced something similar to what Big Daddy Don went through, how about shut the hell up about fighting? Bitch, you ain't fighting nothing but these charges. Anyway, continuing, Quote, I don't want anyone to be fearful for that, he said. Oh, I messed that up here. No, anyway. So he says, I don't want anybody to be fearful of that. He said, I'm going to move around. I'm going to walk around as if I'm guilty of something. I butchered that whole sentence right there. I'm going to start over here so we get this right. Lumumba, dressed in a gray sweater and a black button-up, reiterated statements he made outside the Thad Cochran Federal Courthouse last month, that he was going to continue to fight the charges and work for residents. Quote, I don't want anyone to be fearful for that, he said. I'm going to move around. I'm not going to walk around as if I'm guilty of something I am not. He pointed to the fact that after his arraignment, he went to Tampa, Florida. You know that Tampa is the strip club capital of America, or at least it used to be. So no surprise that he went to Tampa. He went there for the National League of Cities Centennial Summit. The National League of Cities Centennial Summit. I swear, these Democrats and the names of their committees and their meetings and their summits, I think they just throw a bunch of names in a Go Fish bowl and they just pull them out and like, that works. I think it's much like they name their kids. They throw a bunch of vowels in a fish bowl. They pull out about 12 or 13 of them and find some word they can quasi-pronounce. And say, boom, there's little Dijonais. Anyhow, he says, I want our residents to know that, as I've said, I'm not only innocent, but I'm going to fight those charges, and I'll let my attorneys handle that, he said. I owe them a responsibility, and so I'm going to make certain I maintain and adhere to that responsibility. He owes going to let people fight. Owes his attorney. You know, he brought down a bunch of free the land attorneys from Michigan, from Detroit, to come down here to fight for him. Didn't even trust Jacksonians or Mississippi-based attorneys to fight for his freedom. Free the land. What does that tell you? You know, Mr. Radical City, Mr. Jackson, Mississippi. He would have you think he loves Jackson more than Clay Edwards. He won't even get a lawyer from Jackson. Hell, he is a lawyer allegedly from Jackson. I'm being serious about this. What a slap in the face to the entire lawyer community. I would hire y'all. I just want all the lawyers out there to know that follow me. I would definitely hire one of y'all if I was in his shoes. What an idiot. Lumumba, as you all know, is charged with conspiracy, federal program bribery, the use of an interstate facility in aid to racketeering, honest services, wire fraud, and money laundering after he allegedly accepted $50,000 in bribes to benefit developers wanting to bring a convention center hotel to Jackson. You know, what's funny is I saw another article right here on the front page of WLBT as I stumbled across this one. City leaders want you to know that they are still efforting a convention center hotel coming to Jackson. I kid you not. Where did my little fancy screen go? Yeah. The developers who claimed to be with Facility Solutions Team out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, turned out to be confidential human sources with the FBI. Oh, Jody Owens. The quote of the year. I vetted them. They're not feds. Got that one wrong. He also has another one of the quotes of the year in Shad White's book where he tells Nancy New, who's allegedly trying to kind of bribe him with a position on a board for the TAMP stuff. Hey, I'm not that kind of DA. That was about 6 months into his first term. He eventually did, in fact, allegedly, become that kind of DA, according to his own words. He's a whole DA. Getting back to Chokwe here. The mayor told the director of communications, Miss No Comment, Melissa Faith Payne, during the roughly 30-minute episode that this was not the first time he's been investigated by the agency, and he's dealt with the FBI my entire life. Quote, we were surveilled. To this day, I actually have freedom of information documents to demonstrate that. I've seen my high school picture in FBI documents, pictures from my mother's funeral in FBI documents, details on my parents' relationship in FBI documents. He said, well, look, A lot of our parents were not accused of killing a judge. Now, they pinned that on another guy. So this is all allegedly Republican New Africa stuff. Now, they killed Judge Skinner's dad in a shootout in Jackson. That happened. They tried to secede from the United States. Benny Thompson was a part of it. So yeah, you're probably going to be surveilled by the FBI. Just saying. Your family did a bunch of dumb stuff or was directly associated with a bunch of people who did some dumb stuff. And it is to be expected that you could possibly be surveilled by the FBI. So don't leave out the important parts of that. You weren't just randomly picked at random to be surveilled by the FBI. Your dad wasn't surveilled by the FBI because he got Tupac out of shooting a couple cops or getting in a fight with some cops or whatever it was back in the day. Rest in peace, Pac. Boy, Pac has got to be smiling down from heaven, saying, right again, right again, right again, with all the Jay-Z news that's come out the last couple of days. And, of course, the Puffy stuff. I mean, Pac doing a victory lap around the ghetto in heaven if it's got one. Hey, Pac asked the question, does heaven have a ghetto? I'm just assuming he found it if they do. Rest in peace, Pac. So Chokwe continues on here, says, unfortunately, it's not uncommon to me. It's not something I want for my children. I really have to question what family or anybody would justify that level of scrutiny, that level of investment to follow a family that long, he continued. It is not something that is foreign territory to me. Really? 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 You don't know what would justify that. I don't know. Maybe becoming mayor of the city, not being able to keep the water running, causing a garbage debacle over contracts, fighting the federal government that just gave your city $500 million, more than $500 million. I'm sorry. Yeah, more than $500 million, $600 million. Fighting them to get control of the water back so you can still dictate which minority set-asides get the contracts so you can get your kickbacks, allegedly, of course. Yeah, plenty of reasons to, let me say it again, plenty of reasons for the FBI to justify following you around, following your family around for generations. And of course, you jump on your little boat ride down there in Fort Lauderdale, where we have all the great pictures of you and your buddy Jody, allegedly, conducting all of this business. So yeah, plenty of reasons. The audacity of this guy, his lawyers have got to be sitting back thinking, would you please just shut the F up already? Lumumba is in his second term as Jackson mayor. He was first elected in 2017, and the city has been on a sharp decline ever since. Of course, he was reelected by a landslide. There's a loose use of the word landslide in 2021. 19,000 people voted in a city of almost 200,000, at least on paper, 180-something thousand. 13,000 of them voted for him. If that's a landslide, then so be it. It's a landslide. But it's more of an indictment on voter apathy in Jackson, Mississippi. As you know, he's the son of late Nubia and Chokwe Lumumba, a civil rights attorney and activist who died in 2014, about 8 months into his first and only term in office. Chokwe Jr. here, Antar tried to run for office during the special election, which Tony Yarber beat him in that. Shout out to Tony, giving a Lumumba that big L. Look, guys, I know I get a little sidetracked in these videos. I try to have fun with them. Because sometimes you just got to laugh through the pain. Apologize if y'all can hear my phone vibrating there. Sometimes you got to laugh through the pain that is being a citizen of Jackson, Mississippi, or the surrounding areas because of Jackson. And I love Jackson. I got Jackson, Mississippi tattoos on my body. I despise these people for what they did to Jackson. And I feel like I've been given a mandate by the citizens of Central Mississippi to continue to do this right here, to fight, effing fight, and to stand up for what I believe is right, and to mock and meme and ridicule and use light as a disinfectant to ship every one of these people back to wherever in the blue hell they came from, wherever, whatever Wakanda fantasy land the Lumumbas came from, whatever free the land, Republic of New Africa fantasy land they came from. They need to go back there, and they need to never step foot into this damn city again. We want our city back. We're taking it back. This ain't a race thing either, by the way. They make it all about race. Not a race thing for me. It's about what's right. It's about what's wrong. And they're so good at doing the wrong thing right. That ain't nothing you ever want to do. Tune into the Clay Edwards Show right here, wherever you're watching this video, every Monday through Friday live, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Then the video is available on demand immediately thereafter. If you want to go back and watch it or listen to it, should I say, without any commercials or interruptions, the podcast is uploaded daily by 10 a.m. to all audio podcasting platforms, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, wherever you listen to podcasts, it's 100% available by 10:30 every day. And of course, prefer you to check out the videos here, hit subscribe, hit that like button, please. And swing by my merch shop today and grab you a FAFO hoodie like I'm wearing right now. Here is a photo of that. They do have the white drawstrings. I know if you watch my videos, you already know this. How about the brand new blackout tag edition FAFO, little Mississippi flair there. Of course, we've got the matching t-shirts to go with all of them. Got the gray. The gray is still an extremely popular shirt. We set up this weekend at Brandon on Ice all weekend, and we sold more gray shirts than we did black. And I was surprised because online and on the internet here, I guess online and on the internet are the same thing, the black has been the most popular. Anyway, check it out, buyfafo.com, or of course you can just go to clayedwardshow.com as it says there on the bottom of the screen. Hit the merch button and it should take you straight to the merch website. Didn't mean to go 17 plus minutes here, but sometimes you get in a flow and you just got to ride it out. Y'all stay blessed. Don't forget the Clay Edwards Show Christmas Party, 3rd annual, coming up Monday, December 23rd, downtown Brandon. Burgers, blues, barbecue, just confirmed. The soon-to-be famous Stevens Brothers will be the live entertainment. No cover charge. Going to be a good time. You bring a coat or a pair of jeans, a bundle of socks. We're going to be donating all that to Shower Power, the homeless charity in Jackson that feed and clothe the homeless people. For the people that say we never get back to Jackson, we're going to be raising donations for them. Everybody that donates an item gets a free Bud Light or Mick Ultra courtesy of Southern Beverage, Burgers, Blues, Barbecue, and of course the Clay Edwards Show. See y'all then. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Party will get started around 6 p.m. Christmas Eve. Burgers, Blues, Barbecue, downtown Brandon.